If you're doing resistance training to build muscle, yet you're not eating the protein or the amino acids that help to build muscle, you won't build muscle. And in fact, what you do is cannibalize. And this is what I see a lot of people doing when they come to Pure. They come and they train, they do resistance classes, like they're more for their sculpt, or they train in the back, and yet they go home and then they don't eat a meal that's actually going to build muscle. So they're losing that opportunity. So you really need to be eating protein for that reason, and that reason alone. And then for the other reason, that protein saves us. We feel more satisfied when we eat protein. It also increases our metabolic rate because protein is 25% more digestively. We burn 25% more calories when we digest protein, is what I'm trying to say, than if we burn carbohydrates or fats. So we're actually burning more calories to even consume it. So you can imagine if you're eating that 5 or 6 times a day, just small amounts of protein. I'm not saying you sit down to a suckling pig 6 times a day, but you might have a couple of almonds in between, in between your meals, and that might be your snack. That would be a great snack source. And it's going to keep your metabolism revving. It's going to keep building muscle for you. It's going to keep you feeling satiated so you don't have those drops in your sugar levels and your energy, so you're not going to reach for the wrong thing. There's lots of reasons to be eating protein. Okay. So, and I'll get to it a little bit later, but protein absolutely must be part of your breakfast. Must. Okay. So this is actually a picture of Kimmy, and one of the things that Kimmy said, what she found is she was never a big girl, but she had a bit of a tire through, you can see on the left-hand side there, a bit of a tire, and 10 weeks later I think she had lost 9.5 kilos, which is surprising because she was small anyway, but one of the things that she said that she feels made the biggest difference was the fact that she added protein every single meal. So, Carmen, I have a video of Carmen, and I'm not going to play it because you won't hear it. So the thing about Carmen, and the reason I put basically those 2 videos of Mel versus Carmen, is even though to look at Carmen in this video, it goes, she's not tiny, she has lost 40 kilos. So can you imagine for her the change that means in her life? And she says that she's, in a period of, and I don't want to get this wrong, I know she's trained with Anthony for over a year, but I think she did Pure and Me for that same period. So it's, we're talking a reasonable amount of time. She's been working on this. And she's gone from a size 22, she says in the video, down to like a size 14. And she's, but most importantly, she's quite chatty on the video. She talks about the fact that now she's, she's training and she's focused on new goals, and she started back with like martial arts, and she's just physically able to do a lot of things that she couldn't do before. So can you imagine like losing that amount of weight and what it means to you for your self-worth and for your ability to engage in life? I think it's like the biggest gift apart from just the weight loss. And Carmen's a great example of that. So I just like to highlight the 2 because what I want to point out is Mel is eating a completely different program to Carmen, and so she should be. Does that make sense? Okay. Number 3, and this is probably for me personally one of the biggest recommendations I can make to you. Sugar absolutely derailed my health. I have no question about that. It is evil for your system. Without getting too dramatic, just cut sugar out. Okay. So I'm a little bit concerned, to be honest, that this may even be too late, because if you walk into the supermarket and except for the meat, poultry and produce section, everything else in that supermarket has sugar added to it. And when you go on, if anyone's ever been on a diet where they're actively trying to completely eradicate sugar from their diet, you will realize there is sugar in everything. I was shocked to learn that most brands of fish sauce, the saltiest product known to man, has sugar added to it. Couldn't believe that. There is a brand, if you're interested, Pondus, who has no sugar in it. Okay, so I think now though, because of David Gillespie and a few other people who are writing books, there is a little bit more infiltration into the media about this. There are lots of things that you can do now. I mean, we've been telling clients to eat with stevia and these sort of herb-based sweeteners for a long time, and it is starting to make it into mainstream, so I'm glad about that. But I just want you to also be aware that when you head back to that produce section, even though Mother Nature packages fruit beautifully and she adds fiber to it and lots of nutrients, fruit is still a form of sugar as well. And I see a lot of clients who are consciously making the decision to eat healthily, but by eating a lot of sugar in fruit, because they have a sweet tooth, they are derailing their weight loss efforts. Okay? So just be mindful of that. And this is, I don't probably need to show you, but this is our